And the Cannabis Kid, our show features news, interviews, all the latest information about anything and everything about the cannabis related to Tucson, Arizona, and the world at large. We'd love to hear from you. Please give us a live at 646 915 8421. Like us on Facebook, follow us on all social media, or email Tucson@gmail.com. We'd like to thank Kimberly Tucson and Studio C, along with our many sponsors, for hosting our show every week. With our most in town, you'll find hemp products, accessories, and all things related to medical cannabis education. Visit Tumbleweeds Health Center at 3826 East Broadway Boulevard or online at tumbleweedshealthcenter.com. And remember, be smart, be safe, and educate. All right. Welcome to Weedsday Wednesday, everybody. I know it. I love my sound effects. And we all want to know, get the bells out. Who wants to know? How many days until Christmas? 226 days until Christmas and 227 until it's all over. Oh, yes. Nope, we are going to ignore that. I don't know what that call was all about, but we'll just put you on air if you do that to us. Woo! Already talking about Christmas. That's for the bestie. May 13th. We are halfway through the month already. That is just crazy. Wow. I know it. Whew. Golf clap for that. All right. Here we go. Good morning, Weedsday Wednesday, everybody. You know I love my sound effects. I can't help it. All right, winner, chicken dinner. They don't play that anymore. What was that for? Oh, for draft. That was a DraftKings commercial during all the sports. Oh, football, mostly football stuff. All right, what's going on in the kitchen? It is May 13th and 80 degrees already in Tucson, as my best friend would say, Tucson, Arizona. Yep, that's right, because I call for tech support or billing departments, and people from other country answers, and they're like, oh, the best one is because I have a business in Tombstone called Hotel Tombstone. Check it out. And when I tell them, we're getting messages. When I tell them what my business is, and they say Tombstone, because they can't, the B throws them off, and they just can't, they don't know what to do with it. So it's Tombstone instead of Tombstone. All right, Ed Shefflin. Give it up for Ed Shefflin. That guy sold in 1880. He sold, him and his brother sold their mines for $1 million in 1880. Can you freaking imagine? Oh my Lord. Yeah. That's supposed to be a shotgun. It doesn't really sound like one to me. All right. What's going on? Belle Star here, Cannabis Kids, Silver Sister. They're all out there. Let's see. Give it up for Tumbleweeds Health Center and the Good Leaf. We are at 6224 East Speedway Boulevard. We have we're open 7 days a week, but we have doctors on staff Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And you can come on down. We do offer telemedicine, which is awesome. If you go to tumbleweedshealthcenter.com, click on telemedicine section, and you can fill out the form right there. once you do that, we will give you a call. And if you haven't already set up your appointment, we will call you, set up your appointment. And then it's a real simple thing. We do use Google. So I think you have to have a Google account or Google email or something like that. So we do that, send you a link. You meet with our doctor. It's a really simple, quick process, but you get to see an actual doctor. It's very nice. And our doctors are great. If you want to know what you can get your medical marijuana card for, check on the certification section at tumbleweedshealthcenter.com. Here you go. Here's the list. Most of these, like I say every week, most of these you will already have seen a doctor for. If you're coming in with these diagnoses, you've already seen somebody. PTSD. That's the one thing you have to have your records for every 12 months. We used to have our card. No, our card was, it was every year. Now it's every 2 years. But PTSD, they want to see that you've seen your doctor in the past 12 months. That's a hands down if you don't. Cancer, glaucoma, AIDS. Like I said, if you're getting these diagnoses, you probably have seen a doctor. Chronic pain covers a whole ton. Migraines, migrams, fibromyalgia, backaches, headaches, IBS, any sort of pain. I say fibromyalgia, DDD, arthritis, all the arthritis is RA, whatever it is. Yeah. Severe nausea, seizures, including epilepsy, HIV, Hep C, ALS, Crohn's disease, agitation of Alzheimer's, dementia, and the 20-something types of Alzheimer's in between there. Cachexia or wasting syndrome, severe and persistent muscle spasms, including multiple sclerosis. And you're eligible for a medical cannabis card if you suffer from a chronic or debilitating disease or medical condition, or just the treatment. That's key here. Just a treatment for a chronic or debilitating disease or medical condition that causes any of the above conditions or more. So let's say your kid has autism, Tourette's, Asperger's, what you've got IBS, whatever. You don't hear your ailment on the list, but it's causing something like pain, nausea, seizures, cancer even. You can get your card for that. It's a really great thing. Let's see. Let's get over here and do this right. Here we go. Here we go. Uh-oh.
Tumbleweeds Health Center is Arizona's premier cannabis certification, health, and education center. Our primary focus is to help the patients of Arizona obtain their medical marijuana card and educate everyone about medical cannabis. With current medical records, approval is a simple process. Contact Tumbleweeds Health Center to see if you qualify for your Arizona medical marijuana card.
Are chronic conditions holding you back from a happy, healthy life? Get on the right track with Tumbleweeds Health Center. Our CBD products are formulated to fit your health lifestyle.
I would definitely say that CBD has changed my life. I mean, I don't worry about my dog anymore, and I don't worry about sleeping anymore.
Tumbleweeds Health Center, voted #1 health center in Tucson, has created a proprietary number of CBD blends, each designed to promote health and well-being. Let Tumbleweeds Health Center show you how CBD products might help you improve your life the natural way.
An excuse to use a sound effect there. Yeah. So give us a call, 520-838-4430. If you want to shop online for some hemp and CBD products from our awesome store, The Good Leaf, it's thegoodleafshop.com. And you can check out all sorts of good things for your health. And then let's see, what else was I going to get into? Well, I think we're going to just continue on with our movie. We were watching Women in Weed, Sanjay Gupta. Let me see how much time we have left on that. I might even just start it over because some of y'all missed it. And why don't we do that? We'll just play it for the show. All right, kids. All right, kids in the class, it's movie day. Sponsored and brought to you by Tumbleweeds Health Center and The Good Leaf. All right, let's see what's happening here. What is going on? I'm trying to get it to start over, and it's like, replay. That's what we're trying to do. Trying to replay it. All right, just try and refresh this thing. We'll just start over from the beginning. You're listening to Weedsday Wednesday. Oh, that's pretty. They have a rose in. What is going on? It doesn't want to. All right, give me a minute. All right, let's watch it. Here we go. And we're probably going to get an ad real quick. Let's see. Uh-huh.
Welcome to Oklahoma. For more than a decade, we have traveled the globe reporting on cannabis. And now our travels have brought us to the American frontier. Centuries ago, during the land rush of the 1800s, people settled here, looking for land and opportunities and a fresh start. And then in 2018, when medical marijuana was legalized in this traditionally conservative state, cannabis brought this explosion of users and growers and dispensary owners to Oklahoma. In fact, at its height, there were nearly 400,000 medical marijuana patients, almost 10,000 growers, and 3,000 dispensaries. Oklahoma became known as Tucson pot pioneer. Women of all ages, mothers and grandmothers, growing, selling, using
Hello
cannabis.
there.
Women searching for a better, healthier, happier life.
I was a soccer mom. Trust me, if we had all had an edible before this came, we would have been great.
From menstrual cramps to morning sickness to menopause, women in Oklahoma and all over the United States are turning to cannabis for relief, now more than ever.
Women are largely underserved and underrepresented in medicine, and for lack of any other option, are more than willing to try cannabis and cannabinoid-based therapies.
In fact, for the first time ever, women are outpacing men in the use of cannabis. These women say they are changing their lives and their health for the better, but in some cases, also potentially putting themselves in harm's way. The scientists are all research pioneers. Many happen to be women as well.
I had a lot of colleagues tell me that I was probably throwing my career away.
I'm Dr. Sanjay Gupta. This is Weed 8, Women and Weed. The 7th annual Cowboy Cup, a celebration of all things cannabis in the Sooner State.
Organizers expect thousands of people to come through this tent. It's known as the festival tent, but I gotta tell you, it's really much more of a consumption tent. There's education, there's entertainment, and there's lots and lots of cannabis consumption. All of it not only legal, as long as you're 18 years old and have a medical marijuana license. Okay?
Anxiety.
Then I met April, a dispenser.
This is Chelsea.
Hey, Chelsea.
Chelsea.
Buffering. Ooh. Well, thank
Grower. And a
Solid
cannabis
service.
tech entrepreneur.
So they're all going to have a different smell to them.
They know each other.
Executive, they call it breaking the glass ceiling. I love that, no kidding. That's what's happening here.
And then on the other side of the tent, I saw a woman I had heard so much about.
I feel really empowered here.
This is Bonnie Caldwell. She's the chief operating officer of one of Oklahoma's largest marijuana grows, F5 Farms. They also own 3 dispensaries called Seed.
When I came to Oklahoma, I thought traditionally conservative state.
Yeah.
I was surprised to see something like this.
There's a need for people to feel better, use the medicine, and then also have the chance to come together.
But the Cowboy Cup is more than camaraderie. It is a serious competition with awards for the best in the Oklahoma bud business.
You guys won it last year.
It just really helps us to be able to continue to put our name out there and show them that, we're a reputable source.
I really wanted to see where they grow their award-winning plants. Wow.
It's amazing. It's all powers turning into medicine.
Yeah, my dad used it to treat his cancer and his rheumatoid arthritis. He's used it for years. And almost everyone on our team has some personal story about cannabis, how it's helped them.
This all started as a family business when medical marijuana was legalized in Oklahoma.
This is my brother, Ben Caldwell. Ben is the director of cultivation.
And together, they came up with the name, F5.
Oklahoma, we're known for tornadoes, and the biggest one is F5. So we wanted to show that we're strong.
Makes sense, as cannabis gave her strength during a very difficult time in her own life. Like more than 30% of college-age women, Bonnie suffered from depression.
I had used cannabis for more of a social thing. And then I started to realize how it could really help more than just socially.
Versus cannabis. What was different in terms of how they affected your depression?
It was almost like hitting a mute button. It maybe helped, but I knew it wasn't a long-term solution for myself. Versus cannabis, you can use it and then not use it.
Was there a lot of stigma?
In college, I was around a lot of people who were okay with it and used it. But as soon as you go back home, you feel like you need to hide it.
Politics made growing a pot business hard here, and so does the climate. Oklahoma's weather is unpredictable, so F5 grows cannabis inside, where they can control everything.
We're trying to mimic the different phases of nature and the different seasons in our rooms. If you're changing how much feeding goes into it, the humidity that goes into it, the light intensity.
This place is buzzing 24/7, 365 days a year.
In a month, we're producing upwards of 300 pounds of the bud itself, and then around 300 pounds of trim. We have many dispensary partners that we take it to, including our own. How can I help you today, Sarah?
Oh, I'm just looking to get some edibles today.
Sure.
April Ayers is one of those dispensary partners. In 2000,
trial and error. But when you find that right one, it's like you hit gold. I've owned this store for 3 years. And I wish I had been in it from the beginning. Not for money, but just for the people that we can help. And that's
a passion she shares.
Zoe and I met traveling in Australia 30 years ago. We have thought about coming back since the day.
Oh, wow. It's commercial. I'm so sorry. I'm like totally just daydreaming about weed. Oh, my or the silence. Yeah. No, I wasn't even hitting the bong on the commercial. I was just daydreaming about all sorts of things. Weed. You're listening to Weedsday Wednesday. Belle Star here. It is what is it? Today's the 13th, May 13th, and we are having movie day. And instead of you listening to, Sky Rizzy commercials, you get to listen to me. So Weedsday Wednesday, check out tumbleweedshealthcenter.com for all the information you need on getting certified and a little bit of education and find out the laws of the great state of Arizona. You can come in 7 days a week to get some beautiful hemp and CBD products. They are awesome. We've got some really great mushrooms too. If you want to get the gigglies, we've got the mushrooms for you. We have someone that just really seriously like trips out on these things, and this guy takes like 10. I took 3. No, 2. Was it 3 that I took? No, 2. I think I took 2 and was like, yeah, it was just 2. And I couldn't stop laughing for 5 hours. Oh my gosh, like nonstop. It was hysterical. literally. So then I took one. Then the next time I took a half of one, and that seemed to be a little bit, more manageable. But they're very fun. If you want to have some fun, come get some mushrooms. But we've got hemp and CBD products. Like I said, you can come get certified Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We offer telemedicine, and you can find all that out at tumbleweedshealthcenter.com. Sanjay Gupta, Weed 8. Stay tuned for more.
As the sun is setting in Tulsa, Oklahoma,
Going to put these lights outside.
Porch Night is about to start.
It's always BYOB. Bring your own blunts, bring your own blankets, bring your own joints.
Now, fair warning, what you're about to see is not for everyone. But for these women, they say, it offers benefits, both for the mind and the body. Every month, Ebony Jones hosts Mom's Night, or better put, Canna Mom's Night. I love that term.
Everyone knows I am, let's say, consumption house. So typically when they're coming to my house, we are consuming cannabis. I love porch parties because we just come together, kick it, chill.
Mm-hmm.
I needed a night out that wasn't consumed with my little one. I'm stay-at-home mom currently, and it takes a toll.
Jasmine Frost's 20-month-old daughter is back at home with her husband.
It just helps me relax within my night and just kind of forget the worries, so to speak, and just live.
Some moms get together on the weekend and they have a wine party.
Annette Hendricks uses cannabis to help ease the pain and inflammation caused by Crohn's disease. That's a than men.
The biggest thing that I have to combat is people thinking I can't care for my child if I've consumed cannabis.
It allows me to be a better mother. It allows me to be a better human.
Stephanie Logie is a mother of two. She uses cannabis as an alternative to alcohol and also to help with depression.
I think a lot of moms hide it. I choose not to hide it.
Not even from her children, who are 17 and 8.
And I explained to him, this is medicine. This is what I choose to use. Instead of going to the pharmacy to pick up a bunch of pills, I go to the dispensary.
Thank you so much for bringing the sexy plant spray.
Ebony also hosts several other events in the area. This one is a monthly plant swap.
So you came to get you some plants today?
And there are also frequent educational gatherings.
Head upstairs so we can get started with the event.
I'm 19 years sober. Thank you. Thank you. And that is ultimately due to cannabis.
Ebony has become a beacon for the Cannabis community.
Thank y'all so much for just showing up.
Now here's the thing. Ebony believes cannabis saved her life. At one point, she was addicted to pain pills to manage menstrual cramps and stomach ulcers. She also had PTSD from childhood sexual trauma. Then she turned to marijuana, and she says it helped. Then wanting to help others, she moved to Oklahoma in 2020, soon after medical marijuana was legalized.
It was a leap of faith, but I know this wasn't nothing but God. I am very content that I'm walking in the calling that He needs me to be.
Just a few miles away at Cowboy Kush Dispensary, April also hosts events for Canna moms and grandmoms.
How about we learn a little bit about cannabis? Anybody else? No THC. She just won't be anxious.
I think there is definitely a need out there to bring in more education. Women tend to take care of everybody else around them and not themselves.
If you choose to explore cannabis for emotional and hormonal health, consider starting small.
It's all information that April, who is now an empty nester, wishes that she had had when her kids were young.
There's so many women that I talk to that really are just like, I would have been a better mom 30 years ago if I had been able to microdose.
What would have been different?
I felt like in my 30s, I sweat the small things. And I think if I just had that gummy that taken just to take the edge off. Hair, do you want it?
I do.
April now calls herself a microdoser, meaning she takes small doses, typically 1 to 5 milligrams of non-intoxicating cannabis strains throughout the day, to deal with the pain and insomnia that has come with aging. Some, like April, swear by it.
Just
Make
wait.
no mistake, even small doses can cause anxiety, dysphoria, and memory loss. Do you wish you had started cannabis earlier in life?
I do. So do my kids. When they were in high school, they're like, I think I want to smoke a joint. I'm like, absolutely not. Have a glass of wine. I wish I had done that so differently. I wish I had actually educated myself on what it could have done for me. But again, I was in part of that stigma.
All right. Well, you know what? We are not in the stigma any longer. We are in. Hit it.
I'm gonna smoke some weed. Only got $20 in my pocket. I'm looking for a patch up. This is fucking. So
Walk into my house like, what up? I got some good pop. I'm just pumped up, got some bird from the pot shop. Ice in the fridge, it used to be frosty. My friends like, damn, this is so nasty. Okay. Rolling in hella high, looking like it's fever time. Dominating on my friends as I eat some chicken fries. Straight in the snuggie with my girl sitting next to me. Probably showing her how to bake dope full of iced tea. But shit, it was 99 cents. I'll be blazing and smoking, about to go and get some munchies. Now passing up on those cracker jacks, Reese's Pieces of Raritz. I got cotton mouth has been creeping up, but can't remember where I put my keys. Yeah, that's what's up. I'ma take you on this ride. I'ma take no, for real. I can grab my pen, I take a 65 to Bill cruising to my local Publix. Nothing better than rolling with 2 super fly chicks that have frozen burritos. I bought frozen burritos. I bought some Ben and Jerry's, and then I bought some Cheetos. Hello, my main man Obama. A couple states have just reformed their laws on marijuana. What you gonna do? Send the feds there? Hell no. The DPA's gonna be like, they got volcano.
I'm gonna smoke some weed. Only got $20 in my pocket. I'm a hunting shop. This is fucking awesome. I'm gonna smoke some weed. $20. I'm a hunting, looking for a pot shop. This is fucking awesome.
What you know about the science of marijuana? What you know about people suffering from glaucoma? They need it, it helps them with their condition. If you don't believe me, then just ask some opposition. Think your granddad for voting for that guy, Richard Nixon is the president who made the plant illegal. But science is now showing that it's medicine for people, and the private sector's fighting to keep all of that all in tobacco, pharmaceutical prisons. I take those 4 major lobby groups and fight those motherfuckers. They making money day and night, all those motherfuckers. And private commerce out of sight, all those motherfuckers. They be like, oh, it's immoral and unhealthy. I'm like, how many people are you making wealth? And the marijuana lobbies are making all kinds of profits, and they don't want you to stop because of all the special interest. I call that getting swindled and pimp shit. I call that getting tricked by the government. That law's hella old, so it's time to update and regulate it, and then get it under state control. Peak game, look into my political telescope. Think it's gonna stay like this forever? Not hella won't. Not hella won't. Hey, Obama, stop being a hypocrite. You used to smoke weed, fool.
I'm gonna smoke some weed. Only got $20 in my pocket. Looking for a pot shop. This is fucking awesome. Let's end the war on drugs. It's time to pull the plug. These special interest groups are nothing more than corporate thugs. Let's end the war on weed. The people have agreed. These special interest groups have put these laws on rivalry. I'm gonna smoke some weed. Only got $20 in my pocket. I'm a hunter, looking for a pot shop. This is fucking awesome.
All right, all right, all right. Welcome back to Weedsday Wednesday, everybody. Belle Star here. Check out tumbleweedshealthcenter.com for all sorts of good information. We are listening to Jay Gupta reporting Weed 8, Women and Weed.
A stigma not just breaking down here in Oklahoma, but all over the country. The Cannabis movement has now spread nationwide.
They're called Cannabis, and there are groups all around the country and right here in the Sunshine State.
Here in Missouri, recreational cannabis has been legal since late 2022.
It's almost impossible to know exactly how many mothers are using cannabis in the United States.
Hi,
A lot of
Bandit.
women may still be fearful to share that information. But the most
Hi,
recent
bud.
study of the nation's drug users estimates nearly 19.5
morning.
million women aged 12 or older consumed marijuana within the last month. With more than 85 million mothers in the United States, it's reasonable to believe that millions of them are consuming cannabis in some way. I traveled to Boston to learn more about this from a pragmatic, science-backed voice, someone we have leaned on over the years for these weed documentaries, Dr. Stacy Gruber.
How have things changed, would you say, over the last 12 years or so when it comes to cannabis?
There is a seemingly almost universal acceptance at this point that cannabis or cannabinoid-based approaches to things like medicine and therapy are alternatives for folks where we didn't used to think of them as options before. In the very beginning, it was much more of, are we really sure there's anything to this? And I had a lot of colleagues tell me that I was, in large part, probably throwing my career away.
Her research institute, which is called MIND, Marijuana Investigations for Neuroscientific Discovery, has a specific women's health initiative. And many of her subjects, you guessed it, Cannabis.
They live their lives, they drive their kids to appointments, they go grocery shopping, they're responsible for dinners, planning vacations, and cannabis is part of their day-to-day routine.
Do you think that's been driven by the decrease in stigma, the dissatisfaction with alcohol, or what do you think's going on?
Yes, I think the answer to that is yes.
All of that.
Many of our women are more likely to lean into things that will help them, whether it's taking quote the edge off at the end of a day, or to help quietly, maybe not so obviously, address sleep disruption, mood dysregulation, or chronic pain.
And it turns out all of these issues affect women more than men. Sleep disruption, that's more severe for women than men because of the hormonal changes of menstruation, pregnancy, menopause. As for chronic pain, women are disproportionately affected by painful conditions such as migraines, fibromyalgia, and rheumatoid arthritis. And then there's depression and anxiety. 1 in 5 mothers are impacted by those mental health conditions.
There are many more women now in the cannabis industry helping other women understand the whats and the whys and the hows. And that is a game changer for people. Very good.
Thank you. Thank you. Good to see you. Good to see you. I think that the Hannah mom, I hope it takes over the soccer mom, because I was a soccer mom. And trust me, if we had all had an edible before those games, we would have been great.
But it's important to be cautious. Is cannabis really that great for all cannamoms? I started to hear about a growing trend that really concerned me. Pregnant women using cannabis.
Another day, same pain, same meds, same struggling for symptom relief. Injections like Humira and Enbrel work similarly to treat moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis or psoriatic arthritis. But if your symptoms haven't improved enough, Rinvoq works differently. It's a once-daily pill that can rapidly relieve RA and PSA, joint pain, stiffness, and swelling, as fast as 2 weeks for some. Even after 3 years, many people felt this relief. In PSA, Rinvoq can leave skin noticeably clearer.
Rinvoq can lower ability to fight infections. Before treatment, test for TB and do blood work. Serious infections, blood clots, some fatal, cancers including lymphoma and skin, serious allergic reactions, GI tears, death, heart attack, and stroke occur. See the event risk increases in age 50 plus with a heart disease risk factor. Tell your doctor if you've had these events, infection, Hep B or C, smoke, are pregnant or planning. Don't take if allergic or have an infection.
Do something different. It's right for you.
psoriatic arthritis, but want to move with more freedom. So I'm ready to jump in with Skyrizi, along with clearer skin. Skyrizi helps me move with less joint pain.
Well, pardon me, I did not know that was on. I was in the little girl's room, so you are listening to Weedsday Wednesday and Skyrizi. Woo! My apologies, that's bad. Yeah, Weedsday Wednesday. Check out tumbleweedshealthcenter.com for all your information. And if you want to get certified, you can actually come in and meet with one of our doctors Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6224 East Speedway Boulevard. We are right next to Bookman's. Everybody knows where Bookman's is. And then when you're done, you can go get lunch at Beyond Bread, go get some fun things at Bookman's. They have all sorts of things, not just books, used books. I think I don't know if they have new books at all. But they do have like antique books, really cool vintage books, first edition stuff. They have a lot of musical instruments, which are really fun. Silver Sister and I like to go in and peruse the instruments. It's where I got my like 1800s mandolin for so cheap, but now they know. They caught on. I got it a long time ago. I got it like 8 years ago, and now they're all hip to what everything's worth. They've had some Martin instruments in there for a couple thousands of dollars. So if you know what you're doing and you know what you're looking for, then my glasses are over there. Then you're good to go at Bookman's. But it's really fun. We've got a little antique section and all sorts of other things. So check them out. And we are back to Sanjay Gupta, Weed 8.
What you're watching right now will shock you. Pregnant women using cannabis. It's happening now more than ever.
That has pretty much doubled since about 2002, 2003. So it's very, very common these days.
By a researcher at Weedsday University in Detroit, which is now at the forefront of studying cannabis use in pregnancy.
I think for a lot of people who are watching, this may be the first time they've even heard of this or considered this.
How widespread younger moms we have where the prevalence of cannabis use in pregnancy is upwards of 40%. What we're saying here is great. Some preliminary findings in our study, 26% of moms are using cannabis for pregnancy.
I saw it firsthand when I was traveling through Oklahoma.
Do you remember the day you found out you were pregnant?
I was feeling shock, disbelief, but also gratitude.
While the news filled Canna Mom Jasmine Frost with joy, she was also consumed by anxiety. That, along with depression, are clinical diagnoses she had been treated for most of her life.
When I was on Xanax and Klonopin and antidepressive, anti-anxiety meds, either I was a zombie and I was just staring into space, or I was in complete breakdown mode.
Jasmine says she was able to stabilize her mental health for the time being by using different strains of CBD and THC. And then, in 2024, she got pregnant. First came the nausea, then the lack of sleep, and she was riddled with anxiety. So once again, she turned to cannabis.
I needed something to help ground me, so I wasn't taking pharmaceuticals because that's something I did not want to do.
Did your mom instincts ever trigger you and say, hey, maybe I shouldn't do this?
And it didn't trigger me to say no, but it triggered me to be more mindful. I definitely tapped down on my consumption.
I think the initial instinct for anybody would be like, hey, we're talking about an unborn child here and the potential harm.
Beforehand, I kind of done a little bit of research on consuming cannabis with pregnant mothers. So as far as me feeling like there might be a potential harm, I needed more data to support that, especially from my standpoint. And personally, I knew that I wasn't doing anything that was going to be extremely harmful for her, but only boost me in order to boost her.
Jasmine did not feel comfortable telling her obstetrician. She thought she would be judged, but she did reach out to Ebony, who is a trained pregnancy doula who also studies cannabis for medicinal use.
I asked, do you know the risks and the benefits of cannabis consumption?
It's something she asks all of her pregnant moms.
It's my job to make sure that they are educated and making the best decision for themselves.
Jasmine gave birth to Aria in July 2024.
Absolutely perfect little bundle of joy.
Has there ever been any adverse effects, do you think, from consuming cannabis during pregnancy on Aria?
She's meeting and beating all of her milestones.
But that's just one story, one experience. This type of cannabis use is controversial, and here it's actually criminal. There has been a bill proposed here in Oklahoma specifically targeting the use of cannabis during pregnancy, essentially making it illegal. And there's been another bill proposed as well that would require dispensaries to post very explicit warnings about the potential dangers. And it's not just legislators who are against it.
I just don't believe in it. You got another body in there, and the couple of women that I have had come through that were pregnant, the infants were not healthy.
You're due in February.
February 4th, yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How are you thinking about cannabis and pregnancy?
So I don't, just because there were 2 studies I read that had nothing, but one study said they're not sure. And so just to protect the baby, I decided not to use it. Honestly, there's not as much information as you would like.
And the information that is out there can be confusing. Yep, there are a lot of studies which point to the risks: premature birth, low birth weight, heightening anxiety, aggression, hyperactivity, autism.
They don't talk about a direct cause and effect. And no definitive link has been created between cannabis use and some of these harms. There's association studies.
Right, and that doesn't mean cause and effect.
Do you think in some ways that's been interpreted as a green flag for women to use cannabis?
Some people can interpret it that way, absolutely. I don't want it to be a open door for people to just say, oh, well, let's just keep using cannabis throughout pregnancy.
Is a lot of this telehealth now? Or?
Dr. Janester Wilson King is president of the Society of Cannabis Clinicians. Over the years, this board-certified obstetrician has had pregnant patients use cannabis in rare cases. The first time she suggested a patient try it was almost 20 years ago.
She had experienced hyperemesis gravidarum during pregnancy.
She was vomiting, nauseated,
couldn't keep anything down. She was almost hysterical and was considering termination.
Presumably she tried other things at this
Absolutely. As it turned out, throughout the first trimester into the early second trimester, it took maybe 2 or 3 puffs a week, and she didn't experience the hyperemesis like she experienced it before.
How did the baby do that you're talking about?
Great. She's just going to college.
Now again, let's be clear. These are anecdotes. They are not science. They are not conclusive proof of safety for the developing fetus.
We don't know. We don't know all of that.
That sounds scary.
That is very scary.
So these are human brain specimens.
Back at Wayne State, Dr. Hillary Marusik is a developmental neuroscientist trying to understand fetal cannabis exposure. She loves brains, something I can certainly relate to.
It's the most interesting organ in my view, and I hope you agree.
I mean, without question.
For starters, I wanted to know, does cannabis cross the placenta?
Clinical data shows like there is a mechanism by which cannabis can cross the placenta and deposit into the fetal brain. Like that's been really well studied, and that's about week 7 of gestation. So we're at Wayne State University's MRI research facility. We're finding that kids exposed to cannabis prenatally are showing differences in structure as well as functioning about a decade later, so when they're in their early teen years.
They're seeing subtle differences and weakening in the neural pathways of the brain.
This is the hippocampus, as you know well. It's really important for emotional learning and memory. It has a high density of cannabinoid receptors, which is how we think that cannabis interacts with the brain and the body. And that area in particular seems to be really sensitive to development of cannabis exposure.
Is there a most vulnerable time when it comes to the brain?
In utero is when the system is really active and critical for making sure that the brain is wired out properly. But that continues, as you well know, through the adolescent period and even into young adulthood. And that's when a lot of these systems are being crystallized.
Now, that's very important. Cannabis's impact on the brain. There is a long period of vulnerability.
Brain development extends through the 20s. It doesn't just stop when you're, legally an adult at age 18.
People are making some of the biggest decisions of their life at that time.
Yeah, the
They're
irony.
starting to drive, they vote, then they pick, partner for a family, jobs, all this sort of stuff. But at the same time, you're saying that's the most vulnerable time when it comes to cannabis use for frontal lobes and judgment.
That's right.
There's so many different views about cannabis. Half the people say it's amazing, and then the other half say it's terrible. I think as a scientist, it's really important to be really balanced in our view about what the data actually shows. Like a lot of things, the one-size-fits-all approach is way too simplistic.
That's something Stacy Gruber agrees with, as she investigates an overlooked and sometimes ignored group of women who are increasingly turning to cannabis to help with their loved ones.
The big challenge is what they try and how they try. And that's the real question.
The itch and rash of moderate to severe eczema disrupts my skin. Despite treatment, it's still not under control. Now I have Rinvoq, a once daily pill that reduces the itch and helps clear the rash of eczema fast. Some felt significant itch relief as early as 2 days, and some achieved dramatic skin clearance as early as 2 weeks. Many saw clear or almost clear skin.
Yeah, sure they did. You're listening to Weedsday Wednesday, everybody. What time is it? 8:50 already. Can you believe it? We are halfway through May. Whew, can't even believe it. Belle Star. Oh, kitties are hairy. Lord mercy. I got caught up with one of the kitties. Sorry, that was my bad. You're listening to Weedsday Wednesday, brought to you every week by Tumbleweeds Health Center and the Good Leaf at 6224 East Speedway Boulevard in Tucson, Arizona. 85712. You're sending records in. You can come down and physically see our doctors Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You can also do telemedicine. The state approves that now. So you can check out tumbleweedshealthcenter.com and check out the telemedicine section and the certification section. And you can book your appointment and fill out the telemedicine form right there. Wow, these are very long commercials they put on here, Sanjay Gupta. And I also noticed that during the beginning, they had some serious ad placements for Modelo and what was the other one? I just remember that one because I was like, wow, okay, wow. It was very obvious that the girl was standing there with her drink with the logo facing forward, so you definitely could see it. Yeah, total ad placement. That's a good one. Maybe we could get somebody to stand there and like hold a Tumbleweeds Health Center business card or something. Yeah, let's do it. All right, May 13th. Okay. What is summer coming up? Are there any activities? I'm watching the show and I'm getting inspired and I'm thinking, gosh, we should do some more things. And we've got some space out front, although it's just getting so bloody hot. Yesterday was 100 and something. Today is it's already 84 right now. Today's supposed to be 97, but partly cloudy, so it would be a good day to have some things. But we could do something indoors. We could have a little table set up with, samples and like that, and pamphlets and brochures, and talk to folks. But here you go. Here is Sanjay Gupta, Weed 8.
Back at the Cowboy Cup in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Look at you all cowboy down.
You like this, huh?
I do.
The dispensary owner, April Ayers. So what are you looking for here? She's on the lookout for new offerings.
And I just found out they came out actually something just for women, for that kind of sexual nude stuff.
Cannabis for sex. It came up a lot.
How can cannabis help me get around?
See how you doing? And several other times as I traveled around Oklahoma. You say arousal, you like for sex?
Correct, yeah. This one, I love this one. This is the love.
It helps with sexual wellness. It gives you heightened sexual intensity.
It's perhaps not entirely surprising. 50% of women entering midlife reported poor sexual well-being. Up to 78% of women in perimenopause experience sexual dysfunction. That number is even higher for those in menopause.
We are an all-female staff up here.
And turns out that is the most common age range of April's cannabis consumers, 45 to 60 years old.
I feel like in some ways the last demographic that you'd think would be using this regularly would be perimenopausal, postmenopausal women.
Right.
But that seems to be the fastest growing population.
I agree 100%. I really feel like once you hit premenopause, menopause, post, whatever it is, it's literally like being on your period for 365 days a year, 24 hours a day.
24 hours a day, round the clock, of shifting hormones, which can cause everything from mood swings to joint pain to hot flashes to sleep problems to lowered libido.
The other thing with menopause is you have memory loss and stuff like that.
April knows at 55 years old, she is in menopause, and this is her routine. A CBD and CBG gummy in the morning. Those cannabinoids don't get her high, but keep her calm, she says. A CBD drink later in the day.
And this way I'm nice and friendly.
And at night, she says a low-dose psychoactive THC gummy with a CBD and CBN gummy to help her sleep and minimize hot flashes.
It's helped my mood be very steady, and most of Western medicine hasn't helped with those mood swings.
How does it work?
Cannabinoid system, which helps balance sleep, eating, memory.
The endocannabinoid system, or ECS, is often called the body's master conductor. It controls pretty much everything, from mood to sleep to appetite to pain. The ECS keeps us in tune, in balance, and that means just about anything can activate the system. A common problem, inflammation. Your body reacts by making endocannabinoids. Think of them as your body's own naturally produced cannabis. They lock onto these receptors throughout the central nervous system called CD1 or CD2, and they help decrease the production of inflammatory molecules, and fast. The problem, though, as we age, we don't make as many endocannabinoids as when we were younger.
It turns out the aging endocannabinoid system very well benefit from a little tiny bit of a nudge from an exogenous cannabinoid in ways that we wouldn't necessarily expect in younger users.
The symptoms of menopause have been notoriously challenging to treat. Until recently, there was a black box warning on hormone replacement therapy, but that is still the first-line choice.
It's the gold standard. But there are women that don't want to use hormones or are unable to use hormones because maybe some conditions that contraindicate the use of hormones. So cannabis can help.
Is it a general approach say, look, we've tried everything and now we're going to do cannabis? Or is it thought of increasing as a first line?
I generally see people who have tried pretty much everything. I almost always say this is sort of like a last ditch effort.
We grabbing that first, please?
That was the case for Brenda Sukius, her daughter.
You also have $10 in loyalty points.
Oh, awesome.
They started using cannabis and it was legal in Oklahoma. Brenda has been a long-time sufferer of fibromyalgia, a painful autoimmune disorder which intensified during menopause.
I felt instant relief.
Wow. Is that surprising?
Oh, a shot. The shot was because I've been seeing for years.
For her daughter, an Iraq war veteran struggling with physical pain and PTSD, cannabis turned out to be a better option than the pain med she was prescribed, especially now in perimenopause.
I'm night and day. Before, I wouldn't come out of the house. I wouldn't do anything. I wouldn't go anywhere. It helps so much. It helps with everything.
But again, as compelling as these stories are, they are still just stories. Stacy Gruber is now busy trying to collect the data.
Most people don't realize that those studies are not conducted with women in mind. They're just not. and women comprise more of the population who are in need than not.
It's ridiculous. Right?
Yes, they didn't start including women until the 90s.
They didn't start including women. They say, well, because women have hormonal cycles, they're not going to be as good a subject for study,
Right.
all this sort of stuff.
And they may be pregnant, we don't want to get involved in that.
So most research in drug development has traditionally focused on men, not women.
And that's why I think it's important to have empirically sound data to help follow these types of movements, if you will. Because everybody says it's great, but we don't have any data to lean into.
There is trial and error in it. And like, it's like anything in life. If you're not open to that change, then you can't expect a different outcome.
And as the business of cannabis continues to grow, so do the regulations around it. Back in Oklahoma, we meet one woman putting her life at risk to make sure the industry is safe.
Couldn't help but notice when we walked in here, you have security.
Yes.
That was a little surprising to me.
I'm not an antidepressant in my hand.
Oh my goodness, not again. And we're almost to the end of the show, but we still do have probably 7 or 8 minutes left of the program, so we should probably just, finish it out. But you're listening to Weedsday Wednesday, live cannabis radio. Thanks for tuning in and thanks for staying longer. We really appreciate it. Sound effects. If you want to know what you can get certified for, get on over to tumbleweedshealthcenter.com and check it out. There's a whole list of things that you can get certified for. And let's see, we might even have time. These commercials are going fast now. We might have time for our own. Oh, yeah, we're only on 1 of 4. That's funny. All right. Here are the conditions you can get certified for. PTSD, you have to have your own record. So we discussed this. Cancer, glaucoma, AIDS, chronic pain covers so many things. Fibromyalgia, migraines, arthritis, DDD, nausea, severe nausea, seizures, including epilepsy, HIV, Hep C, ALS, Crohn's disease, agitation of Alzheimer's and dementia, cachexia or wasting syndrome, severe and persistent muscle spasms, including multiple sclerosis. And don't worry, if you didn't hear your ailment, never fret. You can actually still get certified if whatever you're getting treated for, the treatment is causing anything. It can cause chronic pain, headaches, seizures, nausea, vomiting, weight loss, the cachexia, wasting syndrome. It can cause all that stuff. So, yeah, you should go ahead and come on down. Let's see. Where am I? Get your card. Here we go. We can get one in.
If you suffer from one of these with current medical records, approval is a simple process. Contact Tumbleweeds Health Center to see if you qualify for your Arizona medical marijuana card.
Are chronic conditions holding you back from a happy, healthy life? Get on the right track with Tumbleweeds Health Center. Our CBD products are formulated to fit your health lifestyle.
I would definitely say that CBD has changed my life. I mean, I don't worry about my dog anymore, and I don't worry about sleeping anymore.
Tumbleweeds Health Center, voted #1 health center in Tucson, has created a proprietary number of CBD blends, each designed to promote health and well-being. Let Tumbleweeds Health Center show you how CBD products might help you improve your life the natural way.
That's right. Come on down or give us a call, tumbleweedshealthcenter.com. You're listening to Weedsday Wednesday, and this is the end of the show with Dr. Sanjay Gupta, Weed 8, Women and Weed. Here we go.
Outside of Tulsa, a small town called Berry, Oklahoma. A woman who is hated by some of the cannabis community so much that she has to travel with security because of the death threats she's been receiving. Hi.
I'm Adrian Berry.
Yeah, sounds good.
Nice to meet you.
She's in good hands. I promise she's safe.
Adria Berry is the director of the Oklahoma Medical Marijuana Authority.
Couldn't help but notice when we walked in here, you have security.
Yes.
That was a thing to me.
A lot of that was coming from our call center receiving calls that they found worrisome.
our social media team finding kind of threatening statements. A lot of it was personalized towards me. I'm kind of the face of the agency.
Did it ever make you want to quit?
Yes, I have wanted to quit.
Her journey with cannabis began in 2018. A lawyer, she was hired to oppose the Oklahoma medical marijuana legalization initiative. Like me, however, when she started to look at the science, when she started to hear the stories from patients, something changed.
I've seen it throughout my lifetime that I've had friends that were obviously sometimes self-medicating with it, but it sometimes helped them with whatever they were dealing with. So I've always believed that this plant does have medicinal value.
Surprising to hear from Oklahoma's chief cannabis enforcer. But as we were touring a cannabis farm, it started to make sense.
I see what will be medicine that will end up on dispensary shelves.
You're the regulator, and yet your first thought is, this is a medicine.
Well, it absolutely is, and it will be once it grows into its full adulthood.
And because she believes it's a medicine, Barry says safety is key. Every step must be regulated.
Local dispensaries worry greed is growing from all this green. Right now, it feels like everybody's got their hand in the cookie jar.
She's cleaning up what has truly become known as the Wild Wild West. At the height of the green rush, 2 years after legalization, there were almost 3,000 dispensaries and 10,000 growers, with almost 400,000 licensed patients, 10% of the entire state.
So it was clear that there were some tightening up that needed to happen. We are cleaning up the industry, and the end, that means there will be safer products on the streets and in dispensaries for patients.
That's going to be safe too. And so the more good actors in the game, then the better for all of us.
Are there a lot of bad actors?
There's more enforcement. So there's been a lot of people who are no longer here.
It's a tough business. Bonnie told me that F5 Farms has been broken into several times. And for April, at Cowboy Kush, there have been other safety issues that she's been dealing with as a woman.
A lot of the men tend to think that they can take advantage of you because either you're stoned or you don't know what you're doing. And I've seen a lot of dispensaries where women have been sexually harassed.
Are you a fan of regulation, or are you concerned about it?
There's still a big black market out there. I do think inspections still need to occur. Licensing still needs to occur.
There are also undercover shoppers from Barry's Oklahoma Medical Marijuana Authority. They secretly buy samples from across the state that are then tested in this new state-of-the-art facility in Oklahoma City.
We're testing not just for THC potency, but we're testing for pesticides, yeast and mold, heavy metals. There are some innovators making some very high, like Delta 8 products. So our lab is testing for those kind of things also. Find out what kind of new cannabinoids and synthetic cannabinoids are entering the market.
As she tightens up and protects the supply chain, there is one area she has not been able to change.
In Oklahoma, we have no qualifying conditions to get a medical cannabis patient license. So it just requires a visit to a physician who will sign off and give a recommendation to a patient. The patient then applies with our agency and they receive their patient card. So there are no qualifying conditions required.
So anybody can get a card, basically.
Yes.
That seems like it really blurs the lines between medicine and recreation.
Yeah, that has been noticed and stated in Oklahoma.
Without a cap on the number of licenses and who can get them, the distinction between the legal and illegal market is fuzzy at best.
But the distinction truly is, at the end of the day, if it's coming from a regulated market, it's tested. You know, it's grown properly. It has been through a tracked system. So you're buying a product at a dispensary that is better quality than what you're buying from a street corner if you're buying illicit products. As far as medical versus maybe an adult use or just, you still do have to go through that step of talking to a physician here in Oklahoma. So that does differentiate from just a pure adult use market where anyone can walk into the dispensary at any time.
That's
a difficult part.
Oh, that's
The adult
interesting.
use products are primarily and predominantly THC. And the way it's used, you're using it to get high. At some medical get high, but most of them want their symptoms. The adult use much higher doses, much higher concentrates.
I saw it up close at the Cowboy Cup.
How do you find the line between medicine and recreation?
Cannabis can be fun, and sometimes recreation is medicine. Having fun. People can go home and be like, I need to sleep, so I'm going to use this. Or I want to hang out with friends and be social.
As the Cowboy Cup comes to an end, the votes are all in. Who is the best in Oklahoma weed?
First place, F5 Farms, banana bread.
Well, tomorrow it's back to grow, back to the grind. It's 365 days a year. It's a really tough industry, and so we just want to be able to be there year after that and just keep growing.
More women are using it, more women are getting benefits from it. We're driving the car now. We're the drivers.
I think it finally says that women are comfortable with who they are, and they're not going to worry about what other people think. They're going to do what's best for them.
Amen.
Their healthiest version.
Do you feel like this is the era for women in weed?
I do. I really do.
Yeah, baby. You're listening to Weedsday Wednesday. Belle Star here. And there you have it. All right. Woo! Well, there you have it, folks. Oh, nope. Nah, we got to get to this one down here, please. This is where we will start our next bit right here. There you go. All right. Thanks so much for tuning in and listening to Sanjay Gupta, Women in Weed. We appreciate you being here. Sounds like a whip to me. Yeah, that's an explosion. Whatever. All right, guys. Happy Weedsday Wednesday. Sorry the show went over, but we needed to listen to Sanjay. Or just, we all have our own opinions on things, but he's been a pretty good advocate for it. Remember, as always, be smart, be safe, and educate, and we will see you all next week. Whoop, whoop. Have a great day, kids. Happy Weedsday Wednesday, everybody. Have fun, smoke a bong.